Before today's video starts, we just want to bring you a word from our sponsor, AppZone. AppZone is a great app that actually pays you to try games, and then the longer you play, the more you earn. Rewards are paid out instantly through retailers like Amazon, Xbox, Google Play, Visa, Steam, and more. Currently I'm playing poker in a word puzzle game, and it's paying for my Google Play music subscription for the month. If you download AppZone by clicking on the link below the video, not only will you make money for just playing games, you'll be directly supporting Criminally Listed. AppZone is only available for Android, but below the video you'll find a link to a similar app for iOS. And now, without any further delay, here's today's video. Number 3. Kimberly Cunningham. In August 2003, Kimberly Cunningham, who lived in Blount County, Tennessee, learned some horrible news. A teenage nephew had sexually abused both her young son and daughter. The nephew was the son of Kimberly's sister's common-law husband, Coy Hunley. Kimberly filed a police report, and apparently, the family of the young man threatened to kill her. They supposedly told her that no one would ever find her body. In retaliation, Kimberly smashed out the windows of her nephew's car. She also bought a gun and got a permit to carry it with her. Despite the fact that Kimberly filed a police report about the abuse, the nephew was not arrested or charged with any crime. A few months after learning about the abuse, Kimberly's 14-year-old daughter, Amanda, was having some behavioral problems. Kimberly asked Amanda what was going on, and Amanda said that she had been sexually abused by someone else. Amanda said that 5 years earlier, when she was 9 years old, her uncle, Coy Hunley, sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions. After hearing the news that not only did Hunley's son abuse her children, but he did as well, Kimberly became irate. She sent her children off to school, and then she drove over to Hunley's workplace and yelled for him to come out to the parking lot. He came out and she told him that Amanda had accused him of sexually assaulting her. Kimberly was hoping that he would deny the allegations. Instead, he laughed and said, "What are you going to do about it?" Kimberly pulled out her gun and fired 5 bullets at Hunley. He was hit multiple times and he fell to the ground. He tried crawling away from her, and as he did, Kimberly reloaded her gun and fired 5 more bullets. She then got into her car and calmly drove away. An ambulance arrived a short time later, but it was too late to save Hunley. He had been shot 8 times, including 3 times in the head. 45 minutes after the shooting, Kimberly turned herself in at a police station. She was charged with first-degree murder. At her trial in April 2005, she was acquitted of first-degree murder, and the jury was deadlocked when it came to second-degree murder. The problem for the jurors was the fact that she reloaded her gun. One juror said that had she not reloaded it, she would have been acquitted. Kimberly went to trial again in October 2005, and she was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and that was reduced to 6 months on appeal. Kimberly Cunningham passed away in June 2010 at the age of 38. Number 2. Ellie Nesler. In the summer of 1988, 6-year-old William Nesler of Jamestown, California, went to a Christian summer camp. When he returned home, his family noticed that he was acting differently. He had behavioral problems, he was having difficulty in school, and he was having nightmares. The next year, William told a family member that while he was at the camp, he was sexually abused by the dishwasher at the camp, 30-year-old Mark Daniel Driver. The police talked to the other boys who attended the camp while Driver worked there. It turned out that between 1986 and 1989, he sexually abused 4 other boys. When the police went to arrest Driver, they found out that he had fled the area to whereabouts unknown. Just over 3 years later, Driver was arrested for shoplifting in Palo Alto, California, and he was sent back to Jamestown to face the charges. He went to trial in the spring of 1993. During his trial, it was revealed that in 1983, Driver had been convicted of sexually abusing 2 boys, and he served 5 months for the convictions. On April 2nd, William's mother, Ellie Nesler, was called to the stand to testify. Driver was shackled, and he was seated beside his lawyer. As Ellie walked towards the stand, she pulled out a .25 caliber handgun, and she shot Driver 5 times in the back of the head and the neck. She surrendered immediately. The shooting made headlines across the country, and it created a lot of debate. A lot of people thought that Ellie did the right thing. They even made bumper stickers and t-shirts that read, "Nice shooting, Ellie." Other people thought that by taking the laws into her own hands and killing Driver in court was an insult to the American justice system. In August 1993, Ellie went to trial using the defense of being temporarily insane. The district attorney argued that Ellie was sane and she knew exactly what she was doing when she shot Driver. The district attorney said that Ellie brought the gun to the courthouse with the sole purpose of killing Driver, and this showed that she had planned the murder in advance, so she was not temporarily insane. The district attorney also pointed out that Ellie was high on methamphetamines when she shot Driver. She was found not guilty of murder, but she was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but that was appealed, and she served only 3 years. Ellie sold her story for $110,000 to a television producer, and in 1999, it was turned into the made-for-TV movie Judgment Day, the Ellie Nesler story. In July 2002, Ellie was arrested again. She was caught trying to buy 10,000 pills that are used to make methamphetamine. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and she ended up serving 4. Ellie passed away in December 2008 at the age of 56. She had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 1994. While Ellie was dealing with her legal problems and serving her prison sentence, her son William was sent to live with relatives. Starting when he was a teenager, William had 18 run-ins with the law. In 2004, William, who was 23, got into an argument with a man named David Davis over some tools. Davis called the police, and in front of several officers, William attacked Davis, punching him several times. William was arrested, and he was sentenced to 60 days in jail. He was released on July 25th, and the first thing he did after getting out of jail was drive to the trailer where Davis lived with his wife. William, who was 6'2" and weighed 230 pounds, broke into the trailer and found Davis asleep in bed. William pulled Davis, who was much smaller than him, out of the trailer. Davis was 45 years old, and he had mobility problems because of a spinal injury. He tried to run away from William, but he tripped. As Davis begged William not to hurt him, William stomped on his head. Davis died the next day in the hospital. In June 2005, William Nesler was sentenced to 25 years to life. Number 1. Maria del Carmen Garcia. In 1998, Antonio Cosme, who lived in the small town of Benejúzar, Spain, was convicted of sexually assaulting Maria del Carmen Garcia's 13-year-old daughter, Veronica. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison. 7 years later, on June 13, 2005, Maria was at a bus stop waiting for her bus. She was shocked when Cosme, who was 62, walked by her. He had been released from prison on a 3-day parole. When he walked by Maria, he said, "How is your daughter?" Maria said that something in her brain snapped. She watched Cosme walk away and then enter a bar. A short time later, Maria walked into the bar. She walked up behind Cosme, who was drinking coffee. She put her hand on his shoulder, and he turned around to face her. Maria was carrying a bottle, and when Cosme turned around, she poured some liquid out of the bottle onto him. Based on the smell, other people in the bar could immediately tell it was gasoline. Maria then lit a match and threw it on Cosme. After setting her daughter's attacker on fire, Maria ran out of the bar. Cosme was rushed to the hospital. He had burns on over 60% of his body. Maria was arrested that night. Cosme lived for 11 days before he succumbed to his injuries. Maria was originally sentenced to 9.5 years in prison, but she appealed, and her sentence was reduced to 5.5 years. After serving 3.5 years, she was released on day parole. That meant she could leave the prison during the day, but had to spend her nights there. Maria says that she wishes that she never killed Cosme, but she also wishes that he had never sexually assaulted her daughter. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please subscribe for more videos just like it. Please don't forget to visit criminallylisted.com, where you can suggest cases and buy merchandise. Please also check out our Patreon page, where you can get access to an exclusive podcast. But that's all for today. Thanks again for watching.